weed has fallen off, folks. Weed is no longer as tight as it was.
Check out the full podcast, link below.
You know, this was like an impromptu topic, but in reality, 420 did just pass.
It did.
And so you asked the question.
Most overrated day to be acknowledged.
That's interesting.
Most overrated.
Wait.
And then
more than Earth Day?
I take Earth Day better. I started drinking water on that day. Once they said it was Earth Day, I said, yo, I'm going to treat my faucet better.
All right. But you asked me a question. I forget. You said something like, why isn't weed highlighted by artists these days? Is that what you sponsors.
Said? Like these days, young artists, like for instance, I listened to NBA Youngboy's album. Throughout the album, you know, he might talk about lighten up, maybe like a little bit. But it was more so about taking drugs and doing all these other things. And if you just go down the line and think about all the artists that are popping right now, they're not really talking about weed. They're talking about broccoli, LSD. Or not broccoli. Broccoli's weed. I meant, what's it? Mushrooms. That's what I meant to say. They're talking about mushrooms. They're talking about LSD. They're talking about cocaine. They're talking about other stuff. Weed has kind of been pushed to the back a little bit.
I think it's because, again, it's become legal. And
like what's the last weed anthem you've heard? I've not heard a weed anthem in years.
It's a good question.
420 was actually a day that a lot of artists dropped weed-inspired songs.
Bro, I wouldn't even say that. No, remember the days where it was like a rite of passage for a rapper to have a smoking song on their album.
Hell yeah.
That was like a thing. You know, you had to have that.
Hell yeah.
And so that shows you how ingratiated weed was into the culture. And like now it's not. And I think it's because it's become legal. But more importantly,
that's a cop out a little bit.
But I actually think the real that's like the precursor reason. I think the real reason is because number one, people are taking harder drugs. Yes, it's that simple.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
It's not.
That's true.
Weed used to be for fashion.
Cause
drugs are fashion.
Drugs are fashion,
bro. I mean, weed is not for fashion anymore. Now it's you got to be doing lean. You got to be doing pills.
Like rappers could easily be like, yo, I did gushers today, dog. Like, I had some gushers, dog. Like, pull it up in the whip with some gushers, dog. Like, gushers is tight.
Wait, the candy?
Yeah, the gushers.
I used to love gushers, bro.
Why can't rappers promote healthy foods?
You call gushers healthy?
I put up on the block with some avocados, bruh. Like we eating avocados. Like nobody. But anyway, remember Redman and Method. There was artists, kind of going to your point. There was artists back in the day that their whole setup was around weed.
Of course,
like Redman and Method Man.
Oh yeah,
all about being.
They were in How High.
They were in How High. They created a movie called How High. You know, you're talking about obviously Wiz Khalifa. We mentioned Devin the Dude. Remember him? Devin the Dude.
All he did was smoke.
Anytime he came out, it was about weed.
The man sounded high in every verse.
You know how
heard from him.
You know how Lecrae, when Lecrae gets guest artists, like you have to like clean up your raps when you get on a Lecrae song.
Right.
When the Devin the Dude, you had to like talk about weed somehow.
Yep.
You know, that's how much of like weed influenced his music was.
Interesting.
And then Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Weed has fallen off, folks. Weed is no longer as tight as it was. Weed's not cool, guys. Weed's not cool.
Listen,
edibles is doing his thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say this for right now, and this is not a promotion of drugs. Bring America back again, aka weed. Bring the old America, which consisted of weed.
But did you like it though?
So look, here's the thing. I think we got to bring it back for multiple reasons. Number one, for health reasons. I never heard a case where a rapper died from smoking too much weed. Have you ever heard that?
They did stupid stuff.
All right. But did you hear about overdosing?
I haven't heard of, there's no such thing as overdosing.
All right. So but how many times have we heard an artist take fentanyl laced drugs because they doing pills, they doing all these oxycodone drugs, the lean and all this stuff that is infused with toxic chemicals these days. I think that like people are on the harder drugs because they just over weed. They're just over
because weed is not moving the needle.
I think we became too mainstream, and I mean that legally.
So this is kind of off topic of the whole music topic. Do you think weed becoming legal kind of hurt its reputation? Like, is weed now like the dude that got it out the mud and now is like turn pop? Like, is weed that old trap rapper that's now dabbling in pop music? Like, is that what weed is now? Like, it's not. It's
Is weed money back, yo?
It's overrated. Alcohol has always been that guy. Alcohol has always been in the streets. Alcohol would never fall off or never fall out or whatever.
I think we fell off from the mainstream. It's because it became too readily accessible to people. It became legal. People don't care about legal shit. It's let's be honest.
Which is so stupid.
But let's be honest. There's an allure. It's no different than like kids. Like think about like just life. When someone told you, when an adult told you as a kid, when you were a kid, say, yo, don't do that. You gravitated towards it. I think that's part of life. Like beyond being a kid, people want to indulge in stuff that is not accepted. And I think unfortunately that's it plays into the drug aspect. It's like
you go into the illegal.
And they playing with their lives now, you know?
But
and
see, then
it is what it is.
That to me just shows how bogus like the music industry is, where it's like you're only promoting the illegal. You're only promoting the bad. Now that weed's legal, it's like, we're off that. We're going to go to whatever else is illegal. At a certain point, when they start making everything legal, they're going to start promoting drinking engine oil. They're going to be like, oh man, I was sipping on engine oil.
Engine oil, drinking engine oil is not illegal.
Hip hop music gravitates to the toxic. They gravitate to the illegal, right?
Yeah, can we stop sounding like old men here?
Damn right. I sound like at the end of the day, I don't necessarily judge people that smoke weed or whatever or anything like that. It's all good. Mm-hmm. But I just find it interesting how it's no longer like a super topic. It's like no longer talked about. It's no longer once it got legal. Isn't that troublesome? Doesn't that bother you a little bit? Does that mean that we were promoting this as like the hip hop community was promoting this because it was illegal and it was not necessarily easy to get? Is that what this is behind?
You're asking to me a question that has an obvious answer. The answer is yes. Ooh. Let's be honest, bro. Ooh. Like you see, this is what happens when we have these type of discussions. When people have this discussion, nobody want to keep it real. Everybody want to act like it's just it's by happenstance. It's coincidence that all these artists promote drugs. People just turn a blind eye to it, and then we start asking questions once somebody dies from the drug. Why did we let them promote it? Or why didn't they get help? Okay, well, let's start pointing our fingers upwards. There's promotion. Why are labels promoting these drugs? Why has it become big business to promote drug usage to a group of people? You know why?
Because How High had to be marketed. How High made it to a theater near you.
Look at that car.
Is it on fire?
Hit that, son.
How the hell did a movie called How High, when at that time weed was pretty much illegal in every state, how did they get marketing money to the point where they had the money to make the movie? They got prominent actors, and then they were able to market it so people can watch it in the theater. That was illegal. You were promoting something illegal.
The last thing I'm going to say on this topic is that, look, with all that being said, I don't like the fact that there are still people in jail for weed. We want to have a real discussion. Y'all want to legalize this and y'all want to make money off of it. All them people who are in jail who got locked up, y'all should retroactively let all them people out. I'm talking about if it was only a weed charge.
For sure.
That's what I would say. So listen, if you guys actually celebrate 420, which clearly it's played out, which is what I think that's what we concluded. That's the moral of the story. 420 is played out.
Let's be real.
That's played out.
Can I be real? This is the ill-advised
420 is played out.
This is ill-advised wise guys.
It is what it is.
This is ill-advised wise guys. Maybe I'm older. If somebody comes up to me, if you were to come up to me and be like, "Yo, man, we celebrating 420," I'm gonna be like, "You got your priorities wrong." I'm gonna be like, "Yo, you're a loser." Like, not a loser, but you're going backwards in life.
It depends.
If you took off work,
okay, that's different. If
you were just out and about and you're like, "Oh, it's 420. I did all my job." You know what? Maybe I'll roll up some weed like on 420 at my house or something like that. Cool. But if you legit think 420 is a actual holiday, I'm not with it.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. Everything I just said might go out the window with this last statement. The fact that weed still has a day and none of these other drugs do.
There's alcohol day.
I don't know if it's
They just
played
don't
out,
call
dog.
it alcohol day.
Nah,
they
dog.
don't call it alcohol
Nah,
day.
dog.
Negro, St. Patrick's
We
Day is
st-
alcohol day.
Where's the codeine
Yeah,
day?
because you're not.
Where's the
supposed to.
Percocet
You know what
day?
the codeine day is?
What?
The day you get sick.
See?
If you're sick with a cold, that's when it's codeine day.
What I'm saying to you is that we saying we fell off, we saying all this shit, yet they still have a day that is recognized to some extent. All these other drugs. I can't believe I'm promoting the
So what you
weed
trying to
in
say?
this.
Weed?
Yeah,
You trying to say weed's better than the rest? You trying to say?
I'm trying to say you could say it fell off,
Weed's
but did
first
it
team?
really? It got a whole day. Enough of we were sober. This is sober talk, guys.
Listen to the full episode. Link below.